Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Sunday. Welcome back. I hope you are having a fantastic weekend so far. So it's another candle review Sunday, and today we're going to tackle two different fragrances. The first one up is Tiramisu from Homeworx. A little bit later on today, you'll see another Kringle candle review, and it's one of their new scents for fall. So but in this video, let's focus on Tiramisu. So this was released over on QVC from Homeworx during their Christmas in July specials that they were having. And I was really excited to see this one pop up because both Craig and I love this particular dessert. Whenever we go to an Italian restaurant, this is typically the dessert that we both choose. Tiramisu is delicious, and to me it feels like a slightly lighter dessert than a lot of other desserts that I've had. I mean, it's not like a heavy chocolate cake, right? Like, it's the little lady fingers that are soaked, and there's like the mascarpone cheese. It's delicious, right? Everybody loves a tiramisu dessert. So I was excited to grab this. Now, I gotta say, I do have some beef with this candle. It is, it revolves mostly around the strength and the throat, but we'll get there. The fragrance itself is actually quite lovely and delicious. So let's talk about that part. If you are interested in this, I will go ahead and link it in the description box below this video. Although I think after this review, I'm sure most of you guys are gonna be like, all right, let me cross that one off my list. It's currently available for $52 with free shipping and handling through QVC. So I will go ahead and link that. And let's get into our review here. So tiramisu. If you've ever had tiramisu, it's basically, these are the ingredients that I'm about to list for you. So you have a blend of whipped mascarpone, espresso, ladyfingers, and vanilla bean. So those are typically all the components of a tiramisu dessert, right? The ladyfingers that are soaked in the espresso, and then you have that delicious sweet vanilla-based mascarpone cheese. It is so good, it's absolutely delicious. And quite honestly, to my nose, this smells a lot like a tiramisu. There is a little bit of a cocoa note in here. Now it's hard to tell when it's burning, but when you sniff this on cold sniff, there is definitely a cocoa note that pops out in this. The espresso note comes across as more of, like, espresso to my nose is normally quite strong, right? Like, it's a super concentrated, like, coffee basically. This smells more of like a regular cup of coffee, not quite as intense as espresso, but there's certainly coffee in this fragrance for sure. So I don't think it strays from like that tiramisu too far. And I could see that cocoa note coming from like a dusting of cocoa that you typically a lot of times, well, I've experienced when I get my tiramisu dessert at a restaurant. There's usually like a cocoa sprinkling over top. So the cocoa note in here makes sense to me. It's just not listed at all, but I definitely pick that up for sure. So the fragrance itself is gonna get 2 thumbs up because it's a delicious blend. But here's my problem with this candle. I can barely smell this, and like, even with all of the issues that I had with these spring and summer candles being significantly lighter, like, they were never like this, which is almost virtually unscented. Now, when I'm standing right next to this fragrance, I do certainly get like a whiff of it. Like, I'm sitting about, I would say, 3 feet away from it behind the camera here. I can smell it where I'm at, but it's very, very faint. And I'm about 3 feet away. So the fact that it is hard for me to really like smell the fragrance when I'm this close to it just is not a good sign. Now, I am at the halfway point, and there are some Homeworx candles that take a couple of burns to kind of get going. However, like, I don't really I don't know. I don't know that this one is ever really going to get going, because usually by this point you will have expected it to kick in at least somewhat. So the strength of this, I'm going to give it like, I'll be generous and give it like a 1.5, because I do smell it, but I mean, it's one of those candles where you basically have to be sitting around this fragrance to even smell that it's burning in the room. It has virtually no throw. I'll give it a throw of about a 1. This is just way lighter than I ever expected it to be. And it's always disappointing when something like this happens with a fragrance that I really actually quite like. Like, I think this is absolutely delicious. And this has been sitting for a few weeks. I mean, I obviously purchased this during the Christmas in July, and it got to me probably towards the end of July. It took forever to get these orders from QVC. And then it's just been sitting around for most of the month of August, just because I couldn't justify burning it quite yet. But yeah, I don't know. I obviously have one more because I bought it in a set of 2. So I'm gonna let that one sit until the holidays, maybe even beyond. While I think this is a delicious, like, holiday type fragrance, I also would probably actually burn this during other times of the year. I think right now the snowflake style packaging is throwing me off a little bit. So it doesn't feel right having this candle out right now, but I don't know. Maybe I'll burn this after the holidays. That'll give it a few more months to sit, and maybe that'll make a difference. I don't know. Another thing I want to mention is that the wicks on this one get really long, and they get long fast, it seems like. You really want to cut these particular wicks quite short, and you don't want to burn this one for more than like 2.5, 3 hours. The wax pool gets rather deep, rather quick, and I have not had this one in a hurricane at all. I could probably get a little bit more out of it if I put it in the Chester Hurricane, but that is currently in my dining room, and that's a room that doesn't really let a whole lot of fragrance escape to begin with, so it seems like a waste to burn it because I don't think I'm gonna smell it. I'm not in the dining room for large chunks of the day, so, but yeah, anyway. Watch your wicks with this one, and just if you are looking for a very light, non-headache inducing gourmand, this might be right up your alley. But if you are looking for something with substantial strength and throw, I would not tell you to get this one, because I think you're gonna be disappointed. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful, maybe saved you some money if you were curious about this one. Let me know if you have any questions. Be sure to check out the description box. I'll put links on where to buy this. And yeah, thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.